What is going on, guys? Gene here, and here for you today, the final part of the Altersphere spoilers. They just finished revealing all the cards just recently, and we are going to go through every last one of them. So first off, we have 2 mana silver spell for Forestcraft Predatory Might. Randomly deal 5 damage to one of the weakest enemy followers in play. By what they mean by weakest is lowest attack power. So this card's also very good because 2 mana, deal 5, even if it's random. Also it hits like cards like Gil Knees because it has ambush, and it's just a very good card for the deck itself. Next we have Angel of Iron Steed, Portalcraft Silver Follower, 3 mana, 3/3. Fanfare, put an analyzing artifact and an ancient artifact into your deck. Apparently now 3 mana 3/3s are the norm because there's gonna be a lot of 3 mana 3/3s in this list. Plus, its effect is amazing because ancient artifact and analyzing artifact are both artifacts you want in your deck, and it's just good stuff about this. Just it auto included all artifact decks. Next we have another 3 mana 3/3 silver follower for Shadowcraft, this time Chris Pumpkinhead. As last words, if it's your turn, summon a ghost, and that's pretty much it. It's most likely going to be like a 3 mana 3/3 vanilla, but if it dies on your turn, you get an extra 1 mana 1/1 ghost. Next we have Lila Arborist, 1 mana 1/1 bronze follower for Forestcraft. Has Fanfare, give +1/+1 to another ally follower with at least 4 attack, and Enhance 4, give +1/+1 to all other allied followers instead. So you can play as a 1 mana 1/1. If you have a 4 mana attack, 4 attack creature on the board, you just give it +1/+1. This is very good for a 1 mana 1/1. But Enhance 4, you just buff your whole board for pretty good mana. It sucks that it doesn't boost itself even if you do Enhance 4, but it's okay. Especially if you have a full board and it just +1/+1. That would make it like a 4 mana 5/5 technically. Next we have Zabet, Lady of the Flies. Looks like Lord of the Flies is back. 4 mana 4/4 legendary Shadowcraft follower. Fanfare, Enhance 7, randomly summon one of the following: Velocious Beetle, Virulent Hornet, Vicious Scorpion, Vengeful Mantis, and Veiled Butterfly. Enhance 10, summon 2 more, and when you evo it, it does the same thing. So at most, you get played on 10, you summon 2, and then you evo her, then you get 3 of them. That's the most you can get. 3 of those are the same tokens that are summoned by Lord of Flies, being Beetle, Hornet, and Scorpion. And the 2 new ones are Veiled Shutterfly, which is a 4 mana 4/3 with ambush, and Vengeful Mantis, which is a 4 mana 4/4. Whenever an allied follower is destroyed, gain +1/+0. This card seems very good, especially since Lord of Flies was played a bit when it first came out. This card seems a lot better because if you can't wait till turn 7, you can at least play as a 4 mana 4/4, and if you do evo her on 4 mana, then you still get her evo effect, which you just get one of the big guys straight away. She doesn't gain any stats, which is apparently very good, because if you gave her any stats when she evoed, she'd be automatically very broken. Yeah, that's pretty much it for Lady of the Flies. Next we got one of my more hyped cards. Prince of Darkness is back, this time as Prince of Casidas. 9 mana 7/7 neutral legendary follower. Accelerate 3, you would only put 4 different Casidas cards into your deck. And Fanfare, you replace your entire deck with a Casidas deck. Now, unlike Prince of Darkness where you put multiple some cards into your deck, this deck has 12 unique cards. First off, we have the only card that's returning from the Prince of Darkness deck, which is Astros Reckoning, 10 mana spell, deal 1 damage to your enemy leader until the defense starts with 1. Pretty amazing card. Next we have Heavenfall. 2 mana spell, banish enemy follower amulet, and draw a card. Earthfall, destroy all non-neutral followers. Infernal Surge, 1 mana, draw 3 cards. Infernal Gaze, 1 mana until the start of your next turn, add 10 to the original cost of all spells in your opponent's hand, and then you draw a card. Flame Lord Deceit, 5 mana, 5/5 follower. Storm, Fanfare, banish all enemy amulets. Vicious Commander, 3 mana, 4/4 Fanfare, deal 4 damage to enemy follower. And its Evo is you deal 6 to an enemy follower. 8 mana, 80 Heretical Hellbeast has Ward and Fanfare, deal X damage to your leader. X equals the number of other followers in play, then destroy all other followers. Wrathful Ice Fiend, 2 mana, 4/4 Fanfare, recover 2 evolution points. Scorpion of Greed, 6 mana, 7/6 follower. Storm, Bane, and Drain. Gluttonous Behemoth, 7 mana, 7/7. At the end of your turn, deal 7 damage to the enemy leader, and its Evo has deal 9 instead. Scion of the Sire, 4 mana, 5/5 follower. At the end of your turn, destroy a random enemy follower. Restore X defense to your leader. X equals that follower's attack. And finally, 6 mana, 9/6 Demon of Purgatory, which is Fanfare. Give the enemy leader the following effect: at the start of your next turn, discard a random card from your hand. Now, Prince of Cocytus is very, very good, especially with all these other cards. There's a lot more variety, and a lot of these cards also just draw you extra cards, so you just go through your deck much faster. Cocytus replaces your deck with a 12-card deck, one for each of these slots. Some cards are much better in some matchups against others, like Flame Lord Deceit. You played against like Lashana Portal, and they have all their amulets on the board. You can just play this, banish them all, and now they're pretty much losing. As well as they help you close out the game much faster, since there's a lot of Storm in here. Heretical Hellbeast just clears the board. Wrathful Ice Fiend just recovers 2 play points, is why not. Scorpion of Greed, Storm has Drain, keeps you in the game. Gluttonous Behemoth just deals 7. Scion of the Sire helps you clear the board and heal. Demon of Purgatory just keeps your opponent from not drawing anything, if that's important. Vicious Commander is one of the more toned down ones, but it does deal 4, then deal 6 if you have an Evo point. Infernal Gaze is basically the Omen of Silence, but instead of raising their stats, the spells cost by 5, it does 10, and it's only for 1 mana, and also you get to draw a card. Infernal Surge, just 1 mana, draw 3. Pretty good. Earthfall, 4 mana, destroy all non-neutral followers, so basically everything that's not in Cocytus' deck. It's pretty much going to be the whole board. And Heavenfall, banish enemy follower, and draw a card. Pretty good. And Astro's Reckoning was always one of the best cards you could get, because literally if you have like Prince of Cocytus lives, then you draw Astro's Reckoning, you just deal damage to their 1, and then you just kill them. Easy as that. So yeah, I'm pretty hyped for Prince of Cocytus because I really want to play with it. Also has the Accelerate 3. You just put 4 different ones into your deck, which if you think you're not going to be able to make it to like turn 9 or 10 because you're playing as an aggro deck, you can, but you pretty much want to play it as a 9 mana 7/7. Next, we have a 2 mana gold spell for Dragoncraft, Power Forge. Deal X damage to enemy follower. X equals the attack of the strongest ally follower in play. It adds 7 before dealing damage to a dragon. So it's basically the spell that you get off Lorena, but with an add effect of enhance 7, you get a 5/5. So always deal 5 if you don't have a follower in play. It's a pretty good removal spell for 2 mana. Next we have Swordcraft, Silver Spell, Dance a Usurpation, 5 mana. Deal 2 damage to all enemy followers, and then you randomly put 2 of the loot cards into your hand. Pretty good. Swordcraft did not have any board clears per se in their arsenal in rotation, so this card seems pretty good for a more mid-range controlled style list, and we shall see if those types of lists ever arise. Next we have 1 mana Shadowcraft, Gold Spell, Poem of Silence. Draw a card, remove all effects from an allied follower except changes to its attack and defense. Enhance 4 remove effects from all followers except their changes to attack and defense. So basically, it's just a 1 mana cycle. Removing the effects of a creature on your side of the board, is not that detrimental. Mainly because all the good last word effects are pretty much leaving rotation, like Elfis and Pure Heart Singer. The Enhance 4 is pretty good as well, because you just shut off all the abilities of your opponent's board, which is pretty good. But most times you're going to see it as a 1 mana cycle, if they do play it. Next we have a Gold Dragoncraft follower, 8 mana 6/8 Wild Flame Dragon. Fanfare, destroy all damaged enemy followers. Simple as that. Pretty good. Helps you clear the board. Especially if you could just control the board, just damage each little creature and then you just play it, remove the board. Simple as that. Next we have a Forestcraft legendary, 4 mana 2/2 Carbuncle Immortal Jewel. Accelerate 2, draw a card, and you put a Carbuncle Sparkle into your deck. And Fanfare, put 4 into your deck. And its evolve is restore 2 defense to your leader and recover 2 play points. So when you play it on 4 and you evo it, you restore 2 defense, and then it'll basically be a 2 mana 2/2. But what's Carbuncle Sparkle, you ask? It's a 1 mana legendary spell, restore 1 defense to your leader and recover 1 play point and draw a card. This card seems pretty insane because it just recovers a play point like that. And it just cycles away, restores with defense to your leader. This card seems like insane. This card will 100% see play, maybe like a mid-range style Forestcraft deck or an aggro style Forestcraft deck. We shall see. Next we have 5 mana Bronze Amulet for Havencraft, Forgotten Sanctuary. Fanfare and last words, summon a Borong. It also says countdown 3. Borong is that old creature summoned off Noble Fangs, the silver amulet. I think it was a 4/5 with ward and can't be targeted. So this seems pretty good. This card reminds me a lot of the Tea Party card that summons the Toy Knight. Seems pretty good. Next you have Viola, Duchess of Dolls, another 3 mana 3/3 for Portalcraft this time. Whenever ally puppet comes into play, give it +0/+2, and Evo, you put a puppet into your hand. I really don't get the point of giving puppets more health, since you mainly just want to trade them into stuff and make all your stuff cost cheaper for Lashena, or you just want to just clear the board because they're just going to die anyway. The only way I can see it useful is against Chimera, but Chimera's getting rotated out of rotation anyway. The only reason you probably play this is a 3 mana 3/3. That's pretty much it. Next we got Zealot of Repose, 4 mana 0/1 bronze follower for Haven. At the end of your turn, if this follower did not attack this turn, destroy all enemy followers with 2 defense or less. This card seems one of the better Zealots I've seen, because every turn you can just clear your opponent's board, and if anything, this card is basically like a 4 mana 0/1 with ward, because if your opponent doesn't get rid of it, it's just going to keep clearing your opponent's board. If it has 0 attack, it will never attack unless you try to evo it. This card seems pretty good. Next we have Lena, Sister of Judgment, 6 mana 4/5 legendary follower for Haven. Fanfare, give +1/+2 to all the other weakest allied followers in play. And Evo, destroy all the strongest enemy followers in play. So if I get this correct, it gives +1/+2 to all of the weakest statted, weakest attack creatures you control, but they all have to have the same attack. So it's like you have 2 1 attack creatures, 2 attack creatures, and then you play Lena, it'll give +1/+2 to all your 1 attack creatures. Same, but in her evo, it destroys all the strongest enemy followers, so it means they have to have the same attack. This card seems a little bit weird if that's how it is, but we shall see how it fares in the meta coming up when the set launches. Next, we have a 5 mana 4/4 Silver Follower for Dragoncraft, Vile Violet Dragon. Whenever this follower takes damage, if it is not destroyed, draw 2 cards. Great card for the Disdain deck, more draw power, pretty good. Next, we have 4 mana 3/3 Legendary Dragoncraft Follower Haste Wing Dragon Newt. Has Storm, Invocation. Whenever you play a card that originally costs at least 7 play points for the 4th time or later, put a Haste Wing Dragon from your deck into play. Fanfare, if Overflow is not active for you, remove all effects from this follower except changes to its attack and defense. So basically, this card will, after you play 4 or more cards that cost 7 or more, then it will come out from your deck, has Storm, and it'll just go face. It's just a card that helps you close out the game much easier. The reason it has that Fanfare effect is so when you put it on turn 4 on the battlefield, it will not have Storm unless you Evo it, because on Evo it looks like it still has Storm. I am not sure though, because the card's not out yet. But it's just a card that'll help you close out the game. Also, once you play it on turn 7 or more, it will have Storm, so it'll help you close out the game much faster from there. So this card will probably see some play in when the set drops in a couple days. Next, we have 2 mana 1/3 Bloodcraft Demon Raider. Has Ward, Fanfare, and Hand 7. If Vengeance is not active for you, you gain +4/+4. And if Vengeance is active for you, it gains +5/+5. So straight off the bat, it's still a good card. 2 mana 1/3 with Ward is always acceptable. On Enhanced 7, if you don't have Vengeance active for you, it'll become a 7 mana 5/7 with Ward, which is pretty decent. But if you do have Vengeance, it's a 7 mana 6/8, which is pretty insane. But it's still more of a take 2 card. Next, we have 3 mana 3/3 Bronze Follower for Swordcraft. His officer is War Dog. Fanfare and Hand 6, deal 3 damage to enemy later. Simple as that. 3 mana Silver Spell for Runecraft, Discovery of Truth. You summon a Clay Golem, give +1/+0 to all Clay Golems, and if Earthright's triggered, you put a Veridic Ritual into your hand. This currency is pretty good because you already have the 2 mana summon Clay Golems, and then you can play this on the turn after. Also, if you have an Earth Sigil on the board, you get a Veridic Ritual. This card seems more of an aggro, like there could be an aggro style of Dirt Rune arise again. Next, you have Elios, Empire Dragoon, 4 mana, 8 mana, 4/7 Dragoncraft Silver Follower. Has Storm. At the start of your opponent's turn, if this follower has been damaged, restore 2 defense to this follower and give it Ward. So basically, again, another card that synergizes well with the Disdain package. Goes face, you damage it, and now it just becomes a wall to protect your life total. Seems pretty good. I think it's too high of a mana cost though, but if it was any cheaper, it probably would have been very broken. But we shall see. 4 mana Prosperous Fountain, countdown 3, at the end of turn, draw a card. It's a neutral amulet. Alright. Kiss of Lust, Bloodcraft Silver Spell, 1 mana. Deal 2 damage to enemy follower, and restore 1 defense to both leaders. So now Bloodcraft has a Blazing Breath, which is fine in my books. Manifestation of Repose, 4 mana Silver Spell for Havencraft. You only put 3 cards with different names that cost 2 or less from your deck into your hand. Pretty good way of searching out cards, and it just randomly put 3 with cost 2 or less. It's basically 4 mana, draw 3, but specific 3 you could possibly make it in a way that there's a high chance you get a card you want, like let's say a Sacred Plea or one of the Repose cards, stuff like that. And the last card on the list is General of the Flaming Lion, 7 mana 4/5, legendary swordcraft follower. Its commander, invocation, at the start of your turn, if at least 15 allied followers have been destroyed this match, put a General of the Flaming Lion from your deck into play. Has rush, and whenever this follow attacks, give all other allied followers +1/+1. This card seems insane, especially combined with Latham, because you just keep making knights out of nowhere. They keep crashing in, and then you just start getting General of the Flaming Lions every turn after that if you're going into the long game. If not, you pretty much have, again, Latham. Turn 2, you just make tokens, and you just keep making tokens out of nowhere. General of the Flaming Lion, even if you just play it on turn 7 from your hand, it's still very good because you always generate tokens. You always put out some weak creatures and then just buffs them all, and then they all just go face. This card seems pretty good. And that's it for all the Altersphere cards that have been revealed. So please tell me your thoughts in the comments down below. Are you excited for Altersphere coming out in 4 or 5 days or so? And Gene, out.